evening and welcome to ABC 31 News Tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Tonight's big story. 9th grade students from Grant Parish got the chance to learn some life lessons today outside of the classroom. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has the story.
The Grant Parish Sheriff's Department invited all 9th grade students from schools in Grant Parish to a day of fun and learning at Camp Grant Walker. The students traveled to different stations set up around the camp area, each based on a specific subject.
This is our third year to do this, and I wanted to target an age group that was young enough that they would still listen to us, but they were at a point in their life that they're fixing to start making decisions that will affect them for the rest of their life. And so we chose 9th grade students. Next year they'll be able to get their driver's license and really start making some decisions and be put in positions that can affect them and other people in this community forever.
Some of the main lessons each year at this event are the consequences of drinking and driving, drugs, cyber danger, and gun safety. This year, some new lessons were added on traffic stops and the dangers of cell phones when it comes to social media.
2 new things this year. One of them is we have a patrol car that makes a traffic stop and then explains to the students what law enforcement's going to do and what we expect you to do. Everybody's going to get pulled over at some point in their life for speeding or running a stop sign or be involved in a wreck. Every student has one of these, and we have a lot of problems with people putting stuff on cell phones or putting stuff on the internet and not realizing the consequences and the recourse of it.
A local pastor also spoke to the students about his real-life experiences with drugs and street violence and how he turned his life around for the better.
By me being a man that have experienced all this, God have brought me out, so I'm just trying to reach back and just let them know that it is real out here. The danger of the drugs, the danger of the gangs, the danger of the incarceration and all that go on with it.
This yearly day camp teaches students about dangers associated with things found in everyday life. At Camp Grant Walker, Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
The Menard High School community is in mourning after the weekend death of 17-year-old Adam Johnson of Pineville. Police say he apparently fell from the bed of a pickup and was run over by another vehicle. That happened on Lala Street. A Boyce man is arrested for attempted murder for an incident that happened last August. 32-year-old Obadiah Levi Kramer is also charged with aggravated battery and obstruction of justice. Rapids deputies say he's accused of trying to run over a man at a home on Highway 28 West and then fled before authorities arrived. An Illinois man is arrested by Rapids deputies for allegations of criminal sexual conduct with a minor. 22-year-old Joshua Emmanuel LeBron was arrested last week in Plainfield, just southwest of Chicago, and extradited back here. He faces 20 counts of indecent behavior and 13 counts of computer-aided solicitation, all dating back to January when deputies were alerted to those complaints. A 35-year-old Natchitoches man is arrested over the weekend for a number of drug and gun charges. Nicholas Casson is charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine and marijuana, as well as several other drug and firearm charges. Natchitoches drug agents say they took him into custody and found evidence on a home on Amanda Drive. We are coming off a beautiful Monday and looking ahead to tonight. Meteorologist Ross Whitley is here with your weather now.
That's right. We had some lovely weather out there, and especially for this time of year, not even feeling that humid out there just yet. We'll have more humidity coming later part of the week. But today, 85 degrees, normal for this time of year, 80 degrees, so a little bit above average, but without the humidity out there, it really didn't feel too bad. The record set back in 1925 of 92, nowhere near that. And of course, last year, we were running about the same. And looking at a little bit further out, as opposed to just here in Alexandria at 85, Leesville at 80, Lake Charles at 74, Lafayette at 82, and Baton Rouge at 79. So most places right around 80 degrees for a high temperature today, just Alexandria being a little bit warmer than the rest. But we'll continue that warming trend as we get later into the week, and we'll add some humidity, might even throw a couple thunderstorms into the mix. I'll have more on that coming up. Scott?
Arthur F. Smith Middle School students took a trip out of state and returned with some special knowledge. ABC 31's Shar Thomas has the story.
Students at Arthur F. Smith Middle Magnet School went on an educational trip to Denver, Colorado and came back with more than souvenirs. They came back with knowledge that they can use in their everyday lives. The students visited all of the surrounding areas. Not only was their trip educational, it was eventful for them to experience the U.S. Mint, U.S. Training Center, and the University of Colorado, where they were greeted and treated as one of their own.
From a small place from Alexandria, it doesn't matter how big and small I am, I can still make a big impact.
You could take that to high school by knowing that everything isn't handed to you.
And I use the strategy that they told me to help make sure that I can get into college.
We saw different animals that we didn't know that were going to be in the aquarium, like a tiger. I didn't know it would be in an aquarium because I usually see them in zoos, but it was actually amazing to see one in an aquarium.
Life, one I'm gonna take from Baker Ridge that you can overcome all your fears in life.
Experience is one of a kind. Our principal, Dr. Williams, has been an inspiration to these youth, being able to expose them to opportunities as she has since she has been a principal here at Arthur F. Smith.
Here at Arthur F. Smith Middle Magnet School, the students went on a trip that they won't forget. Hit 'em with that venom. Shawn Thomas, ABC 31.
The North Rapids Business and Industry Alliance welcomed Dr. Shawn Wilson, Secretary of the Department of Transportation and Development, to discuss transportation challenges for Louisiana.
You get what you pay for. So if you invested in transportation, that will result in more safety projects being built. It'll result in reduced congestion, as well as an expansion of our system for those major capacity projects. And here in central Louisiana, whether it's the LA 28 widening or the Beltway around the heart of Alexandria, those are the types of projects we would fund. Statewide, we're looking at bridges across the Calcasieu, across the Mississippi and Baton Rouge. But there's some big infrastructure projects that are only going to get more expensive the longer we wait. But we also have to think about the maintenance that's out there as well.
Dr. Wilson has served as the Chief of Staff for the Department of Transportation and Development for the past 10 years. The 36th annual Cabrini Foundation Ball is this Saturday, and this year the theme is Passion for Pink, in memory of a Cabrini Hospital employee, Angie Roberts.
She was a beloved associate at Cabrini Hospital, and she succumbed to breast cancer and passed away. And this was her kind of wish to hold a Passion for Pink ball to kind of celebrate survivors of cancer.
The event will take place at the Alexandria Riverfront Center at 7 p.m. and all proceeds will benefit the Cabrini Cancer Center. The 57th Miss LSUA is Nola Parker, a senior from Dry Palm who majors in communication studies. She receives a $1,500 scholarship and will represent the school at official functions. The Ms. Pageant was held over the weekend. The Central Louisiana Rose Society hosted its annual Rose Garden Show this past Saturday with a special collaboration with the Gulf District Show. Exhibits from all over the state and from Texas were at the Keys Park Community Center in Pineville to showcase their roses to be judged, and prizes were given to the winners. Everyone, of course, enjoyed seeing all the lovely flowers.
We are an affiliate of the American Rose Society, which fortunately is headquartered in Shreveport, Louisiana. So, we all give of our time for the gardens there, and are a part of the national organization, the largest single plant society in the world. And the American Rose Society is 125 years old, having been organized in 1892. So there's a lot to love about roses, and we celebrate them here in Central Louisiana.
Although the show is about 125 years old, it is still timeless to those who are passionate about these flowers. Coming up, a look back at President Trump's first 100 days in office and what his next plans are going forward. Plus, old Confederate statues removed in New Orleans. The city's reaction next on ABC 31 News.
So if it wasn't you who killed Michael Jackson?
This May on The Dr. Oz Show.
I just know there was a doctor in the house treating him, and he ends up dead.
Gone too soon. What really happened to your favorite stars? Oz investigates. Fast food packaging alert.
Do these chemicals leach into your food and into your body?
Plus, Monday Dieter. Plans and detoxes to get you back on track by summer. All May on Oz.
Watch Dr. Oz weekdays at 11 on KLAX TV.
The city of New Orleans is joining the effort to remove prominent symbols of the Confederacy in the U.S. In the middle of the night, workers took down the Liberty Place monument, drawing crowds of people for and against that move. The city says more monuments will come down. ABC's Emily Rao has reaction from both sides.
Wearing masks and bulletproof vests, city crews in New Orleans worked to remove the Battle of Liberty Place monument.
Our history is not a game of Jenga.
The 35-foot granite obelisk, a tribute to whites who revolted against the racial integration of the city's police department, but to others, it's a symbol of hate.
There was no vote. If there was a vote, they wouldn't be taking it down in the middle of the night.
Politicians and all, you voted for them. They spoke. They made their decision. Welcome to democracy. It's coming down.
Impassioned supporters of the removal sparring with opponents who say taking down the monument is erasing history.
We will no longer allow the Confederacy to literally be put on a pedestal in the heart of our city.
The mayor making it clear where he stands on the issue, but some supporters still not happy with how it's playing out.
We are very happy to see this hated statue be taken down, but we are disappointed in the mayor that it's being done in the middle of the night where people can't come out and celebrate.
The mayor blames the timing on death threats from protesters, saying the crews will continue their work to remove other monuments at night to keep the process as safe as possible.
This is the first of 4 monuments slated for removal. The mayor won't give any details on when that will happen, citing those extreme threats and security concerns. In New York, Emily Rao, ABC News.
As President Trump closes in on his 100th day in office, there's a new push for health care reform as he also prepares to unveil his tax cut plan. That could make negotiations more tense as lawmakers try to avoid a government shutdown. ABC's Janae Norman is following the latest from Washington.
A push to put points on the board ahead of President Trump's first 100 days.
This is a very exciting time for our country, and you see what's happening with our country in terms of jobs, in terms of business, and there's such excitement and such enthusiasm.
The countdown to President Trump's 100th day could become a countdown to chaos. Congress has until the midnight before to pass a $1 trillion spending bill to prevent a government shutdown, but that could be complicated.
We're going to continue to push for health care reform, and I think that the construction of a wall is going to continue to be an area that moves forward.
This week, the president is again pushing health care reform, tweeting today, "If our health care plan is approved, you will see real health care and premiums start tumbling down. Obamacare is in a death spiral." Trump also plans to unveil his tax cut plan and wants to see a budget with funding for his proposed wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. So far, Democrats are refusing. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin not saying whether funding for the wall is a deal breaker for the president when it comes to a government shutdown.
I'm not going to comment on the specifics of that, but what I will say, the president is working hard to keep the government open.
And although Trump is falling short on promises he made to voters for his first 100 days, the administration is touting less important bills and executive orders as signs of Trump's success.
When you think about what he's started, he'll move forward on tax reform, health care, on immigration, on trade. It's been a hugely successful first 100 days.
Press Secretary Shawn said he can't guarantee there won't be a shutdown, but went on to say negotiations have been positive and top officials are confident that won't happen. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
So if you like it hot, it sounds like you're probably going to like most of the rest of the week.
Yeah, the rest of the week is looking rather warm, and it all starts tomorrow, really. We get the humidity to increase as we go throughout the day, and that will also cause the temperatures to not feel quite so nice. We do have some rain chances later in the week. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Here comes Mother's Day, and we want you to win a $200 gift card to Natchitoches Pecans. Just visit us online, on Facebook or Twitter. Click, register, and get ready to win. Enter daily through May 9th. It's time to win from Natchitoches Pecans and KLAX ABC 31.
I'm meteorologist Ross Whitley, and we're looking at your weather headlines as we head into the rest of this week. And today, beautiful, just some clouds around, and we'll keep that going into tomorrow. You will notice the temperatures being a little bit warmer than today, and the humidity will be on the increase as we get throughout the day tomorrow as well. Approaching a couple of area of low pressure systems off to our north will cause that humidity spike as we head into the week. And unfortunately, it's just something that we deal with when you live around here is the humidity. And the service map showing why. We're going to have winds coming off of the Gulf, and anytime we have winds coming out of the Gulf, we're going to have the moisture along with it. Luckily, we don't have to deal with any kind of rain as we go throughout this week until we get into about Wednesday, where we start to see some showers and thunderstorms into our forecast. Your day planner tomorrow, well, if you got outdoor activities planned, keep them. It's going to be a beautiful day if you don't mind dealing with the temperatures being just a little bit warm. So if you can deal with a little sweat, you can deal with being outside tomorrow. Not a bad day. Right now, 77 degrees, mostly sunny out there. And you see the dew points are low at the current moment at 42, but that'll be warmer tomorrow. We'll see the dew points more like 50 and 60, and that's when things start to feel kind of uncomfortable. As we look across the rest of the region, Baton Rouge at 78, Monroe at 78 as well. Most of us sitting right there in the middle to upper 70s. As we go over to overnight hours, clear, 52 degrees, cloud cover non-existent. Chance of rain also non-existent. And tomorrow, 82 degrees. I know it says a passing shower, but you look at the precip chance, 0%. So no showers tomorrow, 82 and fairly nice. And as we get into our extended forecast, see that changing as we head into Wednesday. See humidity around and a couple of thunderstorms in spots. Not going to be a washout of a day for Wednesday, but still a couple of thunderstorms around. As we head into Thursday and Friday, the temperatures really jump up for Friday. Could be near 90 on Friday. And like I said, as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, you're really going to notice the humidity increasing. And as we get into next weekend, we'll watch a couple of storm systems moving in that could bring us a chance of showers or storms, especially on Sunday. And looks like as of right now, the beginning of next week could be nice once again. That's a look at the weather. Scott?
All right, thanks, Ross. Chronic kidney disease affects nearly 700 million people worldwide. Just how well does the U.S. stack up in tackling this worldwide epidemic? With more, here's Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Chronic kidney disease, a worldwide problem linked to obesity, diabetes, smoking, and high blood pressure, and a problem that is getting worse, according to a new report from the International Society of Nephrology. And the U.S. is not immune, with 1 in 10 living in North America suffering from this condition. And yet, with the price tag for chronic kidney disease at over $50 billion in the U.S. in 2014, Americans at least tend to fare much better than those living in other areas of the world. The new report ranks North America among the best in access to both detection and treatment, with dialysis and kidney transplant relatively widely available. North American countries also have more specialized doctors to manage these patients. In areas like Africa, the picture is much more grim. Only half of African countries have access to certain types of dialysis and kidney transplantation, with 85% of African, Middle Eastern, and South Asian countries reporting shortages of kidney doctors. Worrying trends worldwide, and a staggering reminder of the toll of chronic lifestyle-related disease. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Coming up, NSU softball coach Donald Pickett talks about the growing confidence in the Demons dugout. Plus, after a rain-delayed Sunday, the NASCAR series hit the track at Bristol this afternoon for the Food City 500.
KLAX is the exclusive provider of ABC and MeTV programming here in Central Louisiana. We're the only station where you can watch new ABC programs like Dancing with the Stars, Designated Survivor, and Grey's Anatomy, just to name a few.
That's what family does. We take care of each other.
I'm proud of you. The warmth of your love.
And if classic TV programs like Bonanza, Andy Griffin, Batman, or Carol Burnett is more your style, then MeTV's the station for you. As an advertiser, you'll want your products and services presented to these loyal viewers. Our sales team is equipped to prove we can generate new customers and new revenue for your business.
I'll tell you what, it pays to advertise.
And we have a number of low-risk advertising programs designed to prove we work. Call our media consultant team today for a no-risk assessment on how we can help you grow your business. We're ready to prove we work.
The NSU baseball team heads into this week still reeling from their disappointing loss against McNeese. The Demons had a chance to win the series on Sunday, but gave up 3 runs in the top of the 9th to drop the third game 5-4. So with the new week starting, the Demons now have 5 games in the next 7 days, and that might pose a challenge for the pitching staff.
These 5-game weeks really stretch your pitching staff. Especially with the injuries that we've had, sustained 2 more last week. And some of them are just kind of freak injuries. But it is what it is. It gives other guys opportunities to step up.
On the flip side, the NSU softball team has won 3 straight series and are rolling as the Southland Conference tournament approaches. Coach Donald Pickett said the growing confidence in each other is leading to the wins.
We didn't panic. They didn't try to do too much. They just was confident. And I just see a lot more trust with their teammates, 1 through 9, and just everybody knowing that, we're going to get it done. And I think, that's huge for us. That's a big step forward.
Sunday's heavy rain will delay the start of the NASCAR Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. So 500 laps on the world's fastest half-mile track was moved to today. With no qualifying, the starting lineups were determined by owner points. So no rain today, but wrecks were still aplenty. Lap 54, Kurt Busch making contact with Chris Buescher, slides head nose into the wall. Busch would return a few laps later. Buescher, not so lucky, his day was done. Later, it's Kyle Busch blowing a right tire and going right into the wall. His day would not be done. He would return. And later, it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Coolant crash. He heads into the wall. He would be all right. The car, not so much. Moving to the final lap, it's Jimmy Johnson out in front. He would take the checkered flag. He led 81 laps, got his 82nd career win. It's the 11th time Johnson has won back-to-back races. Clinton Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and Joey Logano rounded out the top 5. It appears that free agent running back Adrian Peterson may well be suiting up for the New Orleans Saints later this summer. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport is reporting that the two sides are moving closer to a deal that would pay Peterson $3 million for the upcoming season. No deal is finalized yet, but discussions are moving forward. The 7-time Pro Bowler would be making less than incumbent starter Mark Ingram. For the second straight week, a top-tier NFL prospect has tested positive for a diluted sample. The first was Alabama's Reuben Foster, and now today it's Michigan's Jabril Peppers. His agency released a statement saying that Peppers was ill before traveling to the NFL Combine and drank a large quantity of water prior to his workouts and has never failed a drug test before. Peppers is considered a top NFL prospect at safety. And more good news for expectant mother Serena Williams. Today she reclaimed the #1 ranking in the world for the 8th time in her career. This news follows her announcement last week that she is pregnant with her first child. Williams last played in January, winning the Australian Open. Now, she probably won't hold on to that ranking for long, though, because she announced on social media that she won't be returning to the court until next year. But the fact that she was pregnant, won a national tournament, and ranked #1, that kind of says enough about how...
It's a pretty good month.
Yeah,
you're doing okay if that's your month.
Yeah, not bad, Serena.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. The Dark Knight can look forward to some sleepless nights ahead and not necessarily seeking justice either. That story coming up next.
Rod Serling created The Twilight Zone in 1959. Serling frequently used the show's premise of ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances to examine real-world issues, such as censorship.
You are obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Racism.
It's important to get with the majority, isn't it?
And war.
How many men have to die before you're satisfied?
These stories, submitted for your approval, can only be found in The Twilight Zone.
Watch MeTV Alexandria over the air on Channel 31.2.
A Batman-loving couple has some great news to share. They are pregnant. James and Alicia Doherty announced that they have the little one on the way with these Batman costumes, which is really their hobby, to dress up in those. Well, we're out of time. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.
Stay connected with KLAX ABC 31. Visit us online anytime. Get today's top stories and trending topics. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. See our pics on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. And make KLAXTV.com your home for local news and information. Plus, download the KLAX weather app for your smartphone or tablet. Get live current conditions, radar maps, alerts, and more. More ways to stay connected with KLAX TV.
Predators better pray.
Crime Watch Daily airs weekdays at 3 on KLAX TV.